Well, I would like to talk about my overseas studying in Japan as an exchange student last year. I genuinely believe this experience was fairly meaningful to me for two reasons. Firstly, it was a great challenge to me. This was actually my first time living alone in an extremely unfamiliar environment. The benefits of which were that I learned how to cook and do efficient budgeting. Secondly, I got to know a bunch of nice guys there, which, from my perspective, was an amazing gift to me during this experience. We shared the same interests, such as Japanese animation and music. I'm so proud of myself since I never thought that I could make friends by using a foreign language. Well, I would like to talk about my overseas studying in Japan as an exchange student last year. I really believe this experience was meaningful to me because it was a great challenge to me in the first place. This was actually my first time living alone in an extremely unfamiliar environment, and I learned how to cook and plan my budget. Then I also got to know a bunch of nice guys there. We shared the same interests, such as Japanese manga and music, and we hung out a lot at the comics and concerts, which are quite common in Tokyo. I am so proud of myself since I never thought I could make friends through speaking a foreign language. Actually, I totally agree with this statement. Above all, it is our parents or siblings who keep us company most of the time in our daily life, so they influence our attitude and behavior all the time. For instance, if parents like to swear at people, then it's more likely that their children will pick up the F words and get used to using them from an early age. Plus, family members, especially the senior ones like our parents, are the people we admire and respect, so we would somehow change ourselves to show our respect. Say, if my mom complains either about my hair or clothes all the time, I have to modify them to please her. Firstly, most of our friends, especially our bosom buddies, are our peers, so basically we share common interests with each other. It is much easier to mimic each other's words and actions. For instance, my friend Peter is a punk. He usually wears black t-shirts and burning holes in it, and he even has a nose ring, so I dress the way he dresses, black t-shirts and earrings. What's more, friends share our daily experience, especially things that happen in school, like tests and dates. When something happens, like we failed in our exam or we come across with relationship issues, they know how to best comfort us. Well, I believe that friends might be more influential than our family members. Well, the woman disagrees with the announcement. She doesn't think it'll do any help to the students for some reasons. Firstly, she doesn't think leadership and organization skills are something that students can acquire through the experience, because all that many students, like her elder brother, do is some basic and meaningless tasks like typing or filing stuff. The second reason from the woman is that other universities in her area have the same requirement as her university does, which means there are lots of competitors at the same positions, especially when the business students graduate. There won't be enough full-time job opportunities or positions available at all. So the woman virtually disagrees for the reasons stated above. Establishing shot is a faraway image shown at the beginning of a film scene, and it is used to communicate background information and to create mood feelings. The professor takes a film he used to see as an example. At the beginning of the film, he saw an image of a big city, and in the city there were lots of tall buildings, skyscrapers, as well as old-fashioned cars and signs. All of these told him that the story took place in the 1940s in a big city. Then he noticed that the city was gloomy because there wasn't much light, only a big light from the street lamp. Besides, it rained and fogged, so the whole scene seemed dark, gloomy, and mysterious. When the action started and the detectives began to talk, he already knew when and where the story took place, and the story was dark and mysterious.
Well, the woman's problem is that there's something wrong with the water pipes in her house, and it takes 2 weeks to fix the pipes, so she has to move out to find some place to live in. Accordingly, there are two options for her to solve the problem. First, she could move to her friend's place, and second, she could find a small hotel near her campus. I think the second solution is a better idea. Firstly, going to a hotel means personal space and quiet study atmosphere, so she will surely prepare herself well for her midterm. Secondly, the hotel is charged at a weekly rate, which is quite reasonable for the woman, so I think she can afford it for the sake of better concentration on study after class. After all, the major concern for students is study. So based on the reasons stated above, I agree and recommend the second solution. According to the professor, there's two ways for plants to protect themselves from insects. The first one is physical defense. Some plants, like passion plant, have physical features that prevent insects from landing on them. The passion plant has little spiky hairs that cover the whole leaf. Since the spiky hairs are numerous and dense, the insects can hardly find room to stand on leaves and therefore cannot eat the leaves. Another one is chemical defense, like the one potato plant uses. When attacked by insects, the plant releases a chemical over its leaf system, which discourages the insect from further eating the plant by making the insect feel full, so the insect may think it's already had enough and stops eating. In this way, the potato plant protects itself from insects.